My name is Irrelevant, and this video is about 2012. I'm sure all of you have heard about 2012. Well, I've entitled this video or slideshow 2012: The Truth, No Hype, No Lies, No Wimps. Because if you can't handle the truth, then just turn this video off right now. In this next slide here, we see a silly cartoon about the Mayan calendar. As you probably know, the date 2012 comes from the Mayan calendar. And so here we have one Mayan saying, so how come it ends in 2012? And the other Mayan says, I ran out of space on the rock. Ha, ha, ha. Not amused. This is serious, folks. Now, with regard to the date 2012, I don't believe that the whole world's going to end. I don't believe that all the crap that's supposed to happen is going to happen exactly in 1 second at 11 a.m. on the 21st of December 2012. It doesn't happen that way, folks. The things that are going to happen have already started happening. It's a 3.5-year process. And 2012 is the end, and the beginning of a new cycle. In this next slide, you see here that the calendar is circular. That's because it's a cycle. It lasts 5,126 years. A lot of websites and videos will tell you it's 5,125 years. Don't believe it. It's actually 5,126 years. This is significant, as I shall explain later. And also, the Mayans called one cycle one sun. And they say there have been 4 suns, or we're in the 4th sun, and 2012 marks the end of the 4th sun and the beginning of the 5th sun. Now, this perplexed me. Why would they call this period of time, this 5,126-year period of time, a sun? Well, I believe I've come to an answer to that question after many, many years of studying, actually 2 years. I have found out that there is this thing called a solar cycle, which is 22 years long. And scientists have only discovered this in the last 20, 30 years. And this is interesting that it's 22 years, because the number 22 in numerology translates to the number 4, and the number 4 means death or change. And that fits perfectly, because after 22 years the sun changes or starts a new cycle all over and again. Well, what is this cycle all about? Well, it's about the magnetic polarity of the sun. Every 11 years, and this is true, I'm not making this stuff up, I got this, I like to verify my stuff, do my research, as you should do. Every 11 years the sun reverses polarity and makes a complete cycle in 22 years. Now, one day I decided, I wonder if the Mayans knew this. I wonder if they knew about this 22-year cycle of the sun. So I took the 5,126 number, divided it by 22, and I came up with 233. that means in 5,126 years, there are 233 complete cycles, magnetic cycles of the sun. What's the significance of the number 233? Nothing. I don't believe it has any significance, except what blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind, is that 22 divides evenly into 5,126. I'm giving you a second to let your mind grasp this concept. It divides evenly. That means the Mayans knew of this cycle. And they knew that after exactly 233 cycles, something would happen to the sun. Another interesting thing about the number 233 is that it's a part of the Fibonacci sequence. I don't have time to go into what the Fibonacci sequence is right now, but basically all these numbers appear in nature, and so I think that's interesting. But in conclusion to my question, why is the Mayan 5,126 year cycle called the sun? I came up with this conclusion because the sun cannot take all the winding up of its plasma field and needs to unwind every 5,126 years. Well, what does unwind mean in this case? Well, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Scientists don't know. So we have to look at what the ancients have taught us and what they've told us. What's interesting is the Mayans and the Book of Revelation in the Bible agree on what's going to happen. According to Mayan prophecy, there will be a flood. This Mayan art shows what will happen in or around 2012, around the end of the cycle. A dragon spews out water from his mouth. You have the moon causing floods. You have the sun causing floods. But the big one is the dragon. And you even have some goddess pouring waters upon the earth. And then you have the god of death at the bottom. Well, in the book of Revelations, it says, and the serpent cast forth his something. I can't read it, but you can read it. The point is, you have the Mayans portraying a dragon spewing water out of his mouth. You have the book of Revelation portraying a dragon spewing water out of his mouth. I'm telling you, there's going to be a flood. The good news is that the earth will swallow up the water. Okay, it won't be like Noah's flood, because this time around, the earth is going to swallow it up. Well, how does that happen? How does the earth swallow up the water? Well, this takes some time to explain, and I need to give you some background information. First of all, the earth has a magnetic field. Okay, this magnetic field protects us from some solar radiation and cosmic radiation. Our magnetic field is weakening. This is truth. I'm not making this up. I read an article from the London Guardian, which is a very reputable news source, and they quoted some scientists who said that our magnetic field is weakening at a parabolic rate.